In this sport, you don't wait for judges to decide your fate. TenexToken puts you in control. Stake instantly, speculate discreetly, and keep your moves private. TenexToken. Play smart, play discreet. This is Kuhn Cassius for IFL TV. Delighted to be joined by the Singapore slinger himself. That's a cocktail, isn't it?
It is indeed the Singapore sling. It is indeed. Saw a bit of that at the crypto event. Always great to be at the crypto fight nights, but really looking forward to Sheffield this week. And Dave Allen and Mahmoud are very excited about it. You look like you've dropped some weight, by the way.
I'm still fat, but you know.
It's just your face got thinner, yeah.
Dad bod vibes, yeah. So,
You've been working the muscles on your face. You get the face massage to make your face thinner, yeah, and then you have a little shave up. Yeah.
Got to do everything I can at 44.
You have dropped some weight, I can see it.
I don't think I have. I don't. I know from my clothes. I'm not saying I've put weight on. I'm just probably saying I haven't lost.
Yeah, but you always wear baggy street clothes anyway.
Oh, I don't. That's an absolute lie. That is absolute lie. Right. Let's run through as many subjects as we can in a short time.
Go on then.
Right. Well, a bombshell last night. A bombshell, and I do mean that in this boxing signing world, which was accompanied by a spectacular promotional video by Matchroom and Ben Whittaker. I mean, it was one of the best promo videos I think I've ever seen. I think it was Eddie Hearn really went full throttle on it, and but yeah, Ben Whittaker, who had his like kind of moments, his up and down moments in the whole Liam Cameron saga, come through it, but Ben Whittaker is one of them people that has potential and has always had potential, just from whether it's his style or his personality, to be a star. And Matchroom have now got him.
Yeah, this is a perfect storm, Eddie Hearn and Ben Whittaker, really, isn't it? And we saw that, like say, in one of the greatest skit promos we've ever seen. And people are talking about it, and they'll talk about these two together, and they will continue to make a lot of noise. As I say, for me, it's the perfect storm. Hearn and Whittaker. Eddie went through that period, didn't he, where everybody loved to hate Eddie, but they don't anymore. And he's gone from to cult, and he's got cult status. And I think Ben Whittaker's still at that stage where people love to hate him, and he's brilliant at playing those antics. He did pull Liam Cameron over the ropes for whatever reason in that fight in Riyadh, but he really produced in the rematch, and it caused massive controversy, loads of noise, and he makes loads of noise wherever he goes, and it's his personality. He's not putting it on. That's how he is. He has a natural arrogance about him. Not as much natural arrogance as our friend Eddie Hearn, which will put a smile on your face, as it just did. But Eddie will enjoy playing, and we saw that in the promo. Like I say, one of the best promos we've ever seen. We saw that in the promo, that these two have got a lot of scope and possibility to bring, I think, Ben Whittaker not just a British boxing star, but potentially a global boxing star. I still want to see more power from him. I don't think they should take him backwards in terms of matchups. I'd like to see him in against a Dan Aziz next, someone like that. I think they need to make some big noise around his next 2 or 3 fights in terms of who he fights, not just the antics. But I think the writing was on the wall a couple of events ago when there was Ben Whittaker sitting ringside alongside Eddie Hearn, and the chattering classes started. Great move for Ben Whittaker, great move for Matchroom and Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those two are probably the duo that you never thought you needed, but yeah, it kind of makes perfect sense. So yeah, we'll see
Yeah.
how his career now progresses under Hearn and Matchroom. Um, I was out in Nigeria last week for a very entertaining and wild week in Lagos. And
Marks out of 10. Marks out of 10 for the
listen,
event.
I'm going to give him like a full nine for
Nice.
the production they put out, the effort they went into for the first show in Nigeria for such a long time, and the man behind that, Dr. Ezekiel Adamu, who's quite a character himself.
Yeah.
He's got a show on in December, but yeah, look, it's they're going to have teething problems. They had a few like situations on the night, but the fights were well matched. The main event, Glanton and Marcus Brown, was well matched. There was a very lively crowd out there in Lagos, and
15,000 at the venue, wasn't it?
yeah, the at the stadium.
Brilliant.
And I think they really, yeah, they went all out from the press conference to the weigh-ins to everything. They went all out to make a show there. The one question, notably throughout the week, asked by myself and whoever else was out there about the prospect of Anthony Joshua fighting not only in Africa but specifically there in Nigeria, where he has heritage, obviously. But just in terms of Joshua, I know Hearn's made comments about they want Joshua out the back end of this year, start of 2026. But the Africa thing is an option on that list, Gareth. But Eddie Hearn's also saying that there's 10 other fighters in however many other locations that we could see Joshua back. But Joshua's been out the ring now for like 13 months. He needs to get back in.
Yeah, and the longer it goes, the harder it is to see him in against opponents. I was discussing this with someone earlier, and we were thinking about the best fights for Anthony Joshua, and I can only think of two right now that really, really sell. I don't think the Dubois rematch sells. I think obviously the Tyson Fury fight sells, but outside that, I can really only see a rematch with Joseph Parker if Joseph Parker beats Fabio Wardley, and that's thinking with a promoter's hat on in terms of where there will be genuinely big interest. You name me another fight in the heavyweight division where there's going to be massive interest. Moses Itauma maybe against Anthony Joshua is a fight. That's a third fight that people would definitely tune into, like changing of the guard type fight. But he's not going to fight Moses Itauma. Well, I say that. Who knows? Could be Moses Itauma. That would do big bucks, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think that's probably the most unlikely of all the heavyweight fights. I mean, would I like to see it? Absolutely. I think Frank
That's
Bob.
the Wembley Stadium. That's a Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, I think a lot of the fights I still think a lot of the fights. I think you could put Joshua in and probably about 4 or 5 different opponents. Still think, despite his loss to Dubois over 13 months ago, I still think that he could warrant a start. I do. I know it's like you shake your head there, Gareth, but it's still Anthony Joshua. So
No, no, it's Anthony Joshua. What I'm saying is, does it, when you really think about it, does it resonate as a promotion? That doesn't resonate as a promotion right now. Um, you know, and it doesn't take Joshua anyway. Fight with Moses Itauma has got enough jeopardy for both men. The Tyson Fury fight is an era-ending fight. The Joseph Parker fight has the potential, if Parker does beat Wardley, and that's only 2.5 weeks away now, by the way. If Parker does beat Wardley, is that an interim fight? There's something there for Joshua. He would believe that he could beat Parker again, and then he'd be in the frame to fight Usyk. You know?
yeah, but I mean the issue here with that as well is that the winner of Parker Wardley is in direct line for either a shot at Usyk or the vacant belt.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming whoever wins that fight between Parker and Wardley will absolutely pursue that avenue. So if Parker does win, I don't know where Joshua fits into that in terms of that direction of.
Yeah, we're just talking heavyweight hot air right now, but we're just it's heavyweight 101 because the we might as well bin this and bin that and chuck this away and chuck that away because the truth is the guy that's got all the belts at the moment doesn't look anything like he's going to fight anytime soon, does he? You know?
Definitely not this year. I think that's a given.
No,
If
not this year.
we're
No.
see Alexander Usyk fight this year. Um, but yeah, all the pieces around him need, all the jigsaw pieces need kind of fitting in towards him. So
Yeah, it's a flaw in our sport at times that the heavyweight champion, undisputed, or the undisputed in certain weight divisions, and I think this happens naturally when they get to a certain age, when they've earned a certain amount, that desire when they've reached the pinnacle and put themselves through it, all the stresses of it, there is a natural tendency. The only time we haven't seen that was when Canelo had fought like 4 times in 11 months when he was undisputed champion. He just kept going, no. And notwithstanding the fact that the opponents weren't the greatest at the time, because it included Yildirim. Was Billy Joe and Callum Smith in that 4? Might have been. Over 11 months, I'd like to look it up and remember that.
Billy Joe was 4 years ago, over 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago,
Yeah,
21.
but Canelo fought 4 times in 11 months at one point,
Might have been.
from memory.
Yeah.
Whether this opens, I don't know. I'm just going to patience while put the kettle on while I'm doing this bit. Um, there was when was the it was May. I thought there was 4 fights in 11 months at one point. Caleb Plant, Gennady Golovkin, then John Ryder. Yeah, this was it. It was Ryder, Jamel Charlo, Jaime Munguia, Edgar Berlanga.
Right. Okay.
No, or am I lying? No, John Ryder, May 2023, then September 23, May 24, September 2024. Quite active. Uh,
You're talking about Ryder, Charlo, Munguia, and Belanga, yeah?
And there was Callum Smith in December 2020, then Yildirim in February 2021, Billy Joe Saunders in May 2021, and Caleb Plant in November 2021. So there you go. That was very active. But I think too much of the time we allow, or the sport allows, the sport allows people to sit away. But it is what it is. But look, you're asking the question about Anthony Joshua, and we were coming off the back of talking about Africa there. I would love to see him fight in Africa. Spiritually, I'd love to see him fight in Africa. I think it'd be so good for the growth of boxing in Africa. And he's clearly, as you've seen from being out there, he's very, very popular, as is Moses.
Yeah. I mean, just coming back to Moses there, obviously spoke to Frank Warren only on Sunday about Moses' opponent being announced for December. The front runners for that, according to reports, are Michael Hunter and David Adelaide. Frank Warren wouldn't make comment on that. He made reference to people possibly overpricing themselves for that Itauma fight, which I got to get and
You
done.
can understand why it
I
does
can
happen.
understand why. I know Frank won't like
Yeah.
that, but I can get why people want to get paid if they're going to fight Moses and Itauma. So I'm sure Frank said that he's hoping to announce that this week. So we'll see what happens with that. But I did ask him also, is Derek Chisora going to be on the same card? He didn't comment on that either. There's reports that Chisora will also be on the same card for his 50th fight. We'll have to wait and see for that. But I think this year is going to have a very entertaining end to the heavyweight division for 2025.
I think it will be. Whoever Moses fights will be interesting. It may be David Adelaide, but I don't see what. Obviously, Adelaide brings certain dangers because he hits so heavily. Um, I would prefer it to be Michael Hunter because he might get some rounds in there because Hunter's a very, very clever fighter.
Mm.
Um, I thought it would be Fa Jagba. That's what I was hearing behind the scenes. I liked that fight for him. Dangerous, big hitter. But they're going to have this issue now with Moses because he's already right up there. He's already being spoken about by everyone as the next Mike Tyson. He More and more stories are coming out from behind the scenes about how great he is in the gym. So it's a look. It's a double-edged sword for him. They put him in with anyone who people don't believe he's are good enough to face him. He'll get critiqued over it, and we've just seen that. We He's getting critiqued over turning down the fight with Frank Sanchez, by all accounts. I'd like to see him fight Sanchez. I was with Sanchez in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. Charles Martin said he wanted to fight with him as well, so maybe that's another name out there that it could end up being. But again, Charles Martin probably falls into that same category as David Adelaide right now.
Yeah. Well, listen, hopefully, as per Frank Warren, we'll hear news or confirmation of his fight this week. Gareth, just a couple of things before I do let you go. It is Dave Allen fight week. He's going to be in Sheffield this week. Yeah, we're here again with Dave Allen, and he's got a big opportunity in front, probably in front of nearly 10,000 people in Sheffield this Saturday. And he beats that the 6'10" or whatever Arslan is. There's going to be another big fight, whether that's Wilder, whoever. There's going to be another big fight there, but he has to get the job done, Dave Allen, on Saturday.
Yeah, and we'd all like him to win. I mean, he's a very, very popular figure, and the heart says yes, I want Dave Allen to win. My head doesn't. My head says Arslanbek Makhmudov wins this. 6'6", he is, and it's 9,000 tickets sold. Not that that makes the odds, but Dave Allen gets to walk out, potentially walked out by Nassim Hamed. There's talk of that, looking in the shape of his life, literally. Worryingly, maybe too slim. Now, I like to see a bit of pork on Dave. I like to see a bit of weightiness on him, but he gets to walk out the Sheffield Arena. He'll love the moment. He's a cool customer.
Mm.
Understated but cool customer. Latterly Dalton Smith's headline there, Naz headline there, Cal Brook headline there. It's a really big night for him. I think the two losses that Makhmudov suffered in the last 3 years, the one to Guido Vianello, he got outboxed and then dropped and then stopped. And Vianello won virtually every round in that fight. And the fight with Ajit Kabayel, where he went to the body, he took a little bit of pressure from Makhmudov first of all, and then went to the body and finished. And we know how good Kabayel is right now. And again, he's dropped out of the picture, and I understand he should be having a fight soon as well. And I don't know why that hasn't been announced, because I hear he's got an opponent in the background that you'll have heard about as well, but they haven't announced that yet, which is odd. He's got to take it to Makhmudov early. Can't just let Makhmudov blow himself out. He will need to kind of fight some fire with fire early on. Makhmudov comes forward, doesn't he? He's very aggressive, and Dave's going to have to catch him on the counter. His fitness will tell in this fight as well. It's a really tough fight. I really hope he does it, but I do see Makhmudov as the favourite in this contest.
That's Saturday night in Sheffield, obviously live on DAZN. Gareth, just to end on this Friday, we'll see the funeral of Ricky Hatton up in Manchester, and Yeah, it was his birthday yesterday. Um, yeah, all coming in the same week. So yeah, Friday's going to be very difficult for the nation. I think not just people that are.
It's been a very difficult few weeks with Ricky's passing. How his family have been. Obviously, we got comments from Campbell eventually. I shared emails with Carol Hatton and Paul Speak, who are probably the two people I know closest to Ricky over all the years. Very, very sad. I mean, I don't know if you and I have spoken on this on record yet, but very, very, very sad few weeks. I think it probably has helped the family to a certain degree. The massive outpouring of love and respect from so many people to Ricky and his life and the family. Yeah, I mean, finally, after a lot of grieving from a lot of people, he'll be laid to rest on Friday, and it'll be a very, very sad day indeed in Manchester, as you say, in the country, and maybe around the world, because he had many, many, many friends. Everybody felt like his best friend, because that's how he made people feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a long few weeks, and it's I'm not
First time I ever met you, you were with Ricky Hatton, being a security guy when he was fighting Manny Pacquiao, and I ran into you and Paul Speak and Ricky in the Win, if you remember. And we had the evening together, and then we went back to the flat. Ricky, you were staying in the same flat that he was training out there in Vegas. He was in too long a camp for that fight, wasn't he? And he was kind of a bit listless and bored of being out there for too long. Went out too early. Was that when he was being trained by Floyd Mayweather Sr.?
and Lee Beard at the same time.
And Lee Beard. Lee did a lot of great work with him, and there were kind of just machinations that didn't work out with Floyd Mayweather Sr. and all of that. But it was a complex time, and obviously he was very unhappy with his performance. But rest in peace, Ricky Hatton. Beautiful memories of a fantastic person.
Absolutely. All right, Gareth. Listen, much appreciate your time. I will see you up in Sheffield on Saturday. And yeah, I'm fully Team Alan this week. So let's hope you can pull this off in front of.
See you up there. Always a pleasure, Cougs.
Thank you very much, Gareth A. Davies.
In this sport, you don't wait for judges to decide your fate. TenexToken puts you in control. Stake instantly, speculate discreetly, and keep your moves private. TenexToken. Play smart, play discreet.